Hi, my name is Kathy. Welcome to Graceful Journey. This is a brand new website of mine, and my purpose for this was to start a place where women could connect any time of the day, morning, afternoon, night, whatever is convenient for you to hear a little segment about a Bible passage, to be challenged by it, to be refreshed, kind of encouraged in their own daily walk. So I hope that this will be a place that you're excited to come to any time of the day. Grab your Bible, get a cup of your favorite beverage. Mine will probably be coffee as I'm sitting here with us, and your notebook. I've put on the site a PDF downloadable print that you can use for the cover of your notebook. And here's some more information that might be helpful for you. On Monday, I will be coming with a video presentation. It'll be about 10 to 15 minutes max long. I will present the week's study and give a little introduction to it. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I will send you PDF notes that I have made as I have studied that passage, and along with that, a place for you to answer some questions and to journal. To write down what it is God is challenging your heart to consider as you have read that passage. So each week we'll study one psalm, and I will introduce that on Mondays. If you have your Bible right now, I would like for you to open it up to Psalms chapter 5. I have spent quite a while studying the Psalms this past year, and this has been new for me and very refreshing. As I've studied it in the past or read it in the past, I have oftentimes kind of glanced over a chapter as I've read through Psalms and kind of gotten discouraged as I read it, thinking, oh, that just always sounds like he is in the pits, and would always just move on. But I found that when I really studied it verse by verse, it became alive to me. I began to understand what David was going through when he wrote Psalms, what he was really trying to say, and it became just a treasure to me, and I have so loved opening up the Psalms and studying it in this way, and I hope to pass that on to you. So in chapter 5, it's talking about waiting, and I don't know about you. I don't think there's ever a time that I'm not waiting for something. Sometimes that waiting is a good thing, and you can relatively go on with your day and feel that the wait is not too unbearable. Then there's the hard wait, the wait that of something that you are really struggling with, or something that you would like to be beyond, and you're filled with such angst and strife and a lot of questions in that wait. And it is during that time that you can really feel quite discouraged, weighed down, and very concerned about it. And I really think that that's where David was in this passage. I know there was a time in my life that I felt that the wait was never going to end for something that was a real struggle in my life. I had received a diagnosis of possible cancer. I waited for several weeks as doctors put me through a lot of evaluations, and went into the operating room several weeks later with multiple surgeons in the room, oncologist, with a pretty much a surety that it was going to come back cancer, and it did not. But I remembered that period of time being one of the longest 2 weeks of my life. I thought it would never end. I was filled with angst, so much strife, a lot of questions, and really just did not want to go down that path. And I was able to not have that diagnosis. I know many of my friends have received a diagnosis of cancer, and the long wait of the cancer treatment, the chemo, the radiation, the waiting for the diagnosis to come back cancer-free is a long period. And I know many other people are waiting for various things in their life to happen that has not happened yet, and the wait is getting long. So I really would love to share with you some hope about that time. There's one thing I have found to be true. Every time that I've had to wait for something, God has always been with me. He has never left my side, and it is His desire that through the wait that I honor and glorify Him in my life, that He promises to strengthen me during that period of time and enable me to wait until His plans are revealed for what He has for my life. we get a glimpse of David through the whole Psalms about so many times that he waited and what he learned through the waiting period. His waiting period was oftentimes very long. In fact, from the time he was anointed to become king to the point that he actually was crowned the king was approximately 13 years. And during that time, David had the horrible experience of literally being hunted down by King Saul as he tried to take his life because he just was such a jealous king and he did not want David to take his throne. So we have lots of stories by David in the Psalms written about this time where he was on the run, where he was waiting upon God for that moment. There is a story in the Psalms that is written in other various Old Testament passages where we see where his own son, Absalom, ordered up a revolt against David, his father, and wanted his father dead so that he could have the throne as well. And I think about how much his spirit must have been crushed during that time to have his own son chased down after him. This is what I love reading about David the most. He did not handle his weight perfectly every time. And that's a lot like me. His life was a roller coaster of highs and lows. That's like me as well. And I relate to him in a lot of ways. But one thing I do notice too is that he passionately loved his God. And God loved him so much that God said in the Word that David was a man after his own heart. And I want that to be said of me. I want God to say, Kathy, you're a woman after God's own heart, after my own heart. So I want us to take some time today to read chapter 5. I hope you've had a chance to do that before we did the video, but if not, don't hesitate to turn the video off and reread it right now, or wait till the end of the video. I'm almost done with it. And just pray and ask God to give you an understanding of what He would like for you to see in this passage. As you read chapter 5, you're going to detect something. It resulted from a period in David's life, although he doesn't tell us what he was waiting for, but it was filled with a lot of strife and oppression. And he was greatly discouraged. Whatever his circumstances were, they led him to write this passage. And as you read it, I want you to write down some things that David said during this time of difficulty. And then I want you to also write down what you're learning about what is said about God. Later this week, on Tuesday, actually tomorrow, and then on Thursday, I'm going to send you some notes of what I found as I read through that passage that I hope will just help you to dig a little bit deeper, and also give you a chance to journal some of your thoughts about what's God speaking to your heart on. On Thursdays, when I come back with the final notes, I'm going to end the week with an opportunity for you to review back and see what it is that you learned this week, and to give time of praise for that. And I'm also going to give you some praise worship to listen to on Thursday as well, a song that is ministered to me as I read through that passage, or would just give you a time of worship before you celebrate your weekend. I'm so glad you're here, and I hope that you have a great week ahead. Don't forget to leave comments, and I will send you some notes on Tuesday. Be sure and sign up on the email too. Thanks so much, and have a great day.